Welcome back to Gun&ShotTV. This is Chris, and today I was be talking about kind of an interesting gun. I just picked this up at the gun shop the other day. I was walking through, and I saw this sitting on the clearance rack. This is an AMT Backup 45. Now, there's a couple different types of backups. They also had sitting on the clearance rack an AMT Backup in 40 caliber. They also made one, I think, called the Backup 2 in 380. AMT was actually named Arcadia Machine and Tool. They made a whole bunch of different guns. Now, I'm pretty sure they started somewhere right around the 70s, and they went up until, I think, the late 90s. The owner died, and it went through a couple different family attempts to run it, and quality control dropped, and, the company moved around, did some stuff. Eventually, they went out of business in the late 90s, and they're currently... Some of the designs are being made by High Standard, who bought the rights. This is the Backup. They also made a whole bunch of guns like the Auto Mag, if you've seen the one Dirty Harry movie where he's using a semi-auto pistol. They also made some weird like Ruger knockoffs. There was a Ruger standard pistol knockoff that they made, and they made, I'm pretty sure, a 1022 rifle knockoff. And those actually, I'm pretty sure they got sued and had to stop making them because they were pretty much direct clones of Ruger stuff. Neat guns. I don't know. I think some of the parts are a little bit off, and seeing as the parts are going to be hard to find, I don't know that I would go buy one with the intent of shooting it. I would rather just buy a Ruger because I know I can get the parts. But they're really neat. I would like to pick one up if I find one cheap sometime. But anyways, back to the Backup. This one's in 45. At the time, 70s, 80s, there's that one police training video where the cop's like, I ain't gonna die in no ghetto. Police would carry a backup gun, a lot of times in an ankle holster. Two reasons. A, if they lost their gun or their gun broke, they could have a backup gun. They could shoot with it. Also, sitting in a car, when your gun is in a holster and it's tucked against your radio and it's sitting there and you can't get to it, the easiest thing to do is if you have an ankle holster, kick your leg up and grab it out of your backup holster rather than go for your main gun in a car. So they were really common. Now the thing with this is it's super heavy. I think it is probably as heavy as my Glock 19. Unloaded, this gun is just as heavy unloaded. It is a heavy, solid stainless steel gun. I would not want to carry this in an ankle holster. I think I would cut off my leg. It is very, very heavy. Looking a little bit closer, it's a 5-shot. It's got a heel clip mag release, like a Euro mag release. It takes one in the chamber, plus 5 in the magazine. There is no slide lock. You just pull the slide back and that's it. When you're empty, you're empty. To field strip it, it's got a pin that you can get through this trigger bar. See the trigger bar there? So it's got a pin that you press out from this side while you hold the slide back. I find putting a finger there is the easiest way to do it. And I can just put that where it goes, push out the pin, and then it comes apart just like a 1911. One interesting thing is it's got non-standard sights, what I would consider. It's got gutter sights, and it's just a gutter that runs all the way down. And that was to keep from snagging on the draw and to make it a little bit more handy. Now, you're going to limit your ability to sight, although looking down it, it's actually not bad. But it's obviously not as good as like an adjustable sight or something like that. But something with this short of a barrel that's this small is not going to be the most accurate gun anyways. It also is double action only. There is no safety. So you just pull the trigger. This hammer comes back. There's nothing to grab the hammer because it's double action only. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a very plain, simple gun. Similar to a 1911 setup, but scaled way down. And super, super heavy for this size. So it should be a little bit more controllable. The guy at the gun shop was saying, oh, watch out, you'll get slide bite. Now, I don't get slide bite on pretty much any gun. I don't know if I have smaller than normal hands or different hand geometry than most people, but I almost never get slide bite. But that would be a concern if you had larger hands. The only issue I found with the gun thus far is the trigger pin was walking on me. So I took it about halfway out and whacked it with a hammer and give it a tiny bit of bend. Then I put it back in. Now that bend will keep the pin in tension, and it's not walking when I dry fired it. But it was walking during dry fire before, so I was afraid if I actually shot the gun that we'd end up losing the pin under recoil. But with that in mind, I'm going to take the gun down. I haven't actually shot it yet, so this could be interesting. But I'm going to take it down to the range, and we're going to shoot it and see how it goes. So that has quite a bit of kick, and it's very, very rough on your trigger finger, but it is pretty controllable. I'm hitting my target in this little pocket gun. Well, it's snowing pretty bad. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to keep the lens clear to do much more shooting, but I figured I'll leave you with a shitty pun. So let me show you how to back up your hard drive. Finally got it. So there you have it. As you can see, we split the IDE cable and we went through the hard drive. Not the best shooting of my life, but it's a little chilly out here. But not the recommended way to back up your hard drive, but that's the way we do it at Gun&ShotTV. So there you have it, the AMT Backup 45, an interesting gun. Like I said, I got this one cheap. It was sitting on the rack for $2.25. I looked them up on Gunbroker, and they were something like $350 to $400 used. And I was able to haggle the cork down to $175. So at that price, I was like, I can't not take this thing, even though I don't really need it, and it's pretty heavy, so I'll probably never actually carry it, and it'll just be kind of a collector or range piece. It's still a neat little gun, so if you have one, you know, and I have heard some stories that they don't work, and there's, you know, spotty quality control, and you can get some bad ones, so it's kind of a gamble at this point because I don't know if High Standard necessarily is going to warranty or if the design is 100% the same. I have a feeling the parts will be similar, or you could get some parts from Numrich, but I've heard some horror stories. So do be wary, and hopefully if you buy one used from a shop, they have some sort of return policy if it doesn't work. If you like this video, please click like. If you didn't like it, click dislike. That's up to you. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. But for Gun&ShotTV, this is Chris. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.